Hello and good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you to our Q&A this afternoon, and hopefully you are here with some questions. We are going to start by introducing ourselves and then also just go over a few places where you can find information on the website if you have questions, and then we will open it up for question and answer. We are recording this and we will send it out in our Friday newsletter, so just be aware of that. When you have questions, you can write questions in the chat, and the three administrators you see on here, we try to answer those questions. And then also when we get to that time, you can unmute and ask questions as well. You don't have to put your camera on, but if you want to put your camera on, you can, but just remember that we are recording this. So I will start by introducing myself. I'm Julie Blevins. I'm one of the three administrators over here at Emerald Campus. I am the district coordinator for both IB College Credit Plus. We also have a student IB coordinator that's not on the call with us today. Her name is Ann Tiefenpeller. She's new to us, as Mr. Bryn Gardner has left to take a counseling position across the street over at Kaufman. So we didn't lose him, we have him here, but we also have a new face, Ann Tiefenthaler, who will be assisting us this year with our IB diploma students. Lori Misi, who's on the call, and she introduced herself next. She also assists with College Credit Plus. She's the support to the counselors in the district, and most of our College Credit Plus questions get filtered through our counselors, and then we support them, but we are also open to questions coming our way as well. All right, Lori.
Sure, thank you. So like Julie said, I'm Lori Misi, one of the other administrators here. And in addition to teaming with Julie on College Credit Plus, I work with our academies, which include our tools academies that are housed at Dublin. So that would be DBA, IT Academy, and our new Communications Academy, which has the broadcasting and digital media courses. Other than that, just work on other Emerald Campus building initiatives, and looking forward to a great year and meeting everybody.
Welcome. My name is Mark Etherton. I'm also an administrator here. I assist with building-wide initiatives, public professional development for staff and teachers. Specifically, I work with three alternative programs at Emerald Campus. The Bridge, which is a high school alternative program that's been in the district since 2008. Paths, which is a post-secondary program. That is students between the ages of 18 and 22. These are students with disabilities that are staying in school services in order to maintain and develop independent skills and work and vocational skills. And then Workforce Ready is a new program that we are piloting this year. Again, as a high school program, grades 9 through 12, combination of school and work-based learning. So welcome, and I as well am looking forward to a great year and having everyone back together.
All right, so before we jump into questions here, we wanted to quickly just show our website. I had it sharing a second ago. Hold on a minute. I think I'd know how to use technology by now. Why isn't it? Okay, so we wanted to just show you our website here, which we reorganized some things over the summer as there were just some confusion on where to find things. So we tried to mainstream it, so to streamline it for all of you to kind of find the information that you are looking for. Most of the information that we have pushed out in our Friday emails can also be found on the current students. And anyone that's tied to Emerald Campus will be automatically signed up for an Emerald Campus email. And we also include students in our communication. Underneath of current students, if you click on this information, there's the information about our Zoom links here, and any additional information we'll have up here as well. And announcements, which take you to the daily news, not the daily news, sorry, the Friday news that's sent out. This takes you to the description of the programs that are available here at Emerald Campus. The bell schedules, which I want to talk about here just for a few minutes to go over that. The shuttle schedule, we have a building map, and this is up here for now, but we will be taking this down. But for the start of the year, the common question is, do you have a map for the building? So we have that up. Parking information here. Virtual tour. So we have some videos of the different spaces here if people want to get an idea of what it looks like before they join us. The calendar will be the community calendar that has the open house dates and things like that. Right now, the only other link we have is the IB Current Student Hub, and that's where a lot of the teachers put essential information and links for students, and then some frequently asked questions here for the descriptions. So the first link here, Lori and Mark, did that click over to the bell schedules? Okay. So the bell schedules here at Emerald, we have 8 periods at Emerald, and the high school has 7 periods. So when students got their schedules, they will see that it's 0.2, 1.1 as it kind of breaks down the periods. And that is because of the offset as we run it through our schedule, so that students conflict out and aren't able to schedule into the same period, but still allowing travel time. And so when a student looks at a schedule, for example, if they have Emerald Campus 0.2 and 1.1, and they're only here for first period, and they need to be back to the home high school by 8:54, there's a travel time of 8:35 to 8:54 that they can get back there. And so the times aren't listed on schedules, but navigating this bell schedule will help students. We are bringing back working Wednesdays. And so that's the delayed start schedule. And so this is the difference here. On Wednesdays at Emerald Campus, we start at 8:11, and then the high school starts at 8:20. And so it works in a similar fashion with the offsetting of time. If students don't have a lunch period on their schedule, and there's just a blank, and they're at Emerald Campus during that time, they can eat at Emerald Campus. If they have a question about, where their lunch should fall, that can go to their homeschool counselor. Typically, though, there's 1 period in the day if they're at Emerald Campus, usually around 4 through 7, where they can eat. If they're a full IB diploma student, they actually eat during their TOK or Theory of Knowledge class. At the high school, there should actually be something where it says 5A, 5B, and 5C to help them understand when they'll have lunch at the home high school. Our cafeteria here is actually open all day, so students can get breakfast, they can stop in for snacks. There's actually a Starbucks machine down there that everybody finds as a nice little novelty item as well, but it is open all day for lunch. The shuttle schedule is up on this tab as well. And so because we have the Wednesday schedule, you'll see that separate down at the bottom. But when students are navigating, they can see what time the shuttle leaves Emerald Campus, what time it arrives at the high school. With Kaufman being a little bit closer, that's generous time. They usually get there before that. The bus to Jerome actually drops off the Kaufman students on the way. So it's kind of 3 or 4 minutes after is when they're dropped at Kaufman. And then from the other, they can see what time the shuttle leaves here from the high schools, what time it arrives, and approximately what class that we're looking at it being for, and then the location. The Wednesday schedule, you can see down here. I actually, there's a mistake on this. The one thing to keep in mind is that on Wednesday, the shuttle leaving from the high school leaves at the same time. So that actually needs to be corrected because those shuttles then go and take the elementary and middle school students and run their routes. So it has to remain at the same time on Wednesdays. So we'll get that adjusted. All right, what else on here? So parking is another common question that we've been getting. If a student spends their entire day at Emerald Campus and does not go to their high school at any time, they can buy a parking pass through Emerald Campus. If not, they will need to complete the necessary paperwork at the high school, get the hang tag, and then come here to get a sticker for the back of their hang tag. Clicking on parking, there's a permission form here. So even if the permission form is completed for the home high school, there's a permission form for here. And again, if they purchased the pass at the home high school, they bring it in here. We check that they completed the permission form and then they get the sticker. If it's only attending Emerald Campus, then they complete the permission form, come in here and pay the fee, and then we actually give them the Emerald Campus hang tag. All right, so,
Hi.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to mention 2 points of clarification. First, the Wednesday schedule that Dr. Blevins described, just remember that's not for the first day of school, however. So even though we start school on Wednesday, we don't follow the Wednesday schedule on the first day of school. We follow the regular schedule. And then the other thing, just to make sure, if you pay for the parking pass at Kaufman site or Jerome, and then you bring that over here to get a sticker on the back, there's no additional charge to park here. So you only pay once. You pay at the home high school or you pay at Emerald if you're strictly an Emerald student.
Thank you. Great points of clarification. Lori, anything in there to add that you thought people would want to know?
No, just the only thing is if there are any aviation specific students, that would be, and then for anyone who is taking a College Credit Plus course off campus, not through Emerald, the Wednesday will not affect any outside Columbus State courses or OSU courses.
Excellent. All right, so now we've kind of, wanted to at least put some Q&A out there of some common questions we've been answering recently, and now we'll open it up to anyone that has questions. So you can type them in the chat, you can unmute and ask, and we'll be monitoring both.
There's a question, I think, about lockers that I saw come across. Yes, we do not have student lockers here at Emerald Campus. So you'll keep your belongings with you when you're here.
So for IB lunch during theory of knowledge, they don't actually eat while they're in class. So half of the period is theory of knowledge and CAS, and then the other half is lunch. So during that time, they come down to the 3 spaces for eating here at Emerald Campus, which is the Union, the cafeteria, and then the atrium. And in those spaces, all students need to be 6 feet apart when they are eating. So we have everything set up 6 feet apart, and then we will be walking around and reminding them. There's also signage up as well. We do need students to partner with us in that, as we do see people try to pull chairs together, and we do the best we can to caution them. But if you could also have the conversation with them that they need to remain 6 feet when eating, that is helpful.
Hi, I asked a question about the lockers. My long leader, she's actually playing tennis as well at Sayota. So after she gets back to Sayota, she is to play tennis, right? So will she have to be carrying the, the tennis gear, or do we have to speak with the Sayota and see if they can get a locker there?
She can actually, if she's coming here first thing in the morning, we have a receptionist up at the front and she's there all the time. And we've had students leave violins and violas and things like that behind her desk. So I think that would be perfectly fine to have her check in with just our receptionist and she would find a place to put that there.
Thank you.
I saw a question about lunch. Is it free just like at the other high schools? And yes, the answer is yes. The lunches will be free this school year, just like in the high schools.
And breakfasts. So when students come in the morning, if they're here first thing, that breakfast, or even into first period, that breakfast is available to them. Where do students catch the shuttle at Emerald campus? So I'm going to pull up the
Yeah,
map.
I sort of just, yeah, if you want to show that map, it's on the parking lot side of the building. But we can show that map again and point that out. Yes, if you've already paid and completed a park for your parking pass, can you go ahead and park on that first day? Yeah, absolutely. You know, we won't be out checking and doing any sort of notifications those first few days of school to give you time to bring your parking pass in and get your sticker. So feel free to park this week.
So here is the map of the parking lot. So the entrance and roundabout is right here. So students will exit the building right here and then walk to this side of the building where the buses drop off and pick up. And there's a sign out there as well that indicates that that's where drop and pick up is.
Also, to add to that, the shuttles will have signage in the windows that let you know if it's heading to Kaufman, Jerome, or Scioto. If not, we just tell students, if you're not sure, or if for some reason they don't have a sign, just ask the driver what high school they're heading to. They're used to it.
We have a question here about online orientation for composition and intro to psych. Is there an online version of the courses, or do in-person students still have to attend? So I don't exactly understand the question, but I'm going to take a stab at it here. So for orientation, we send out a schedule. So we have students that are participating in the Early College Academy. And so if they are participating in the Early College Academy, they have a seminar course on Fridays that is taught by a Dublin City Schools teacher. So their orientation will be during that time, and that was sent hopefully in a table that they could understand of what time that specific orientation will be. And they do not meet for class on the 18th and 19th because the adjuncts did not start with us until the 30th. So that 20th, they meet for orientation. If they are not participating in the Early College Academy, but they are taking Comp 1, Psych, or Soc online directly through Emerald, which they signed up through us, and there is an option to sign up for that through Columbus State, but if it's signed up directly through us, then we will be sending out information to those online students, and then we also will be holding 2 virtual sessions with students this Friday, one from 2:45 to 3:15 to go over the material that we would have covered in class. And then also the following Friday, similarly, there will be another orientation date and then another virtual 2:45 to 3:15 orientation for those students, just to help them get their bearings, kind of working with Dublin and Columbus State. There is an orientation also for the Columbus State American Sign Language courses, for Arabic, and for the math courses. And that was also sent out as well, where they'll be meeting with the other groups on the Friday for orientation. And to one step further, so the following week, in that detailed email, anyone in the Early College Academy will not be meeting for courses on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday of that following week. They will only meet for orientation again on that Friday, the 27th. Okay, so I hope I answered that question. If not, if somebody wants to clarify there, we can go from that. So we will not be taking attendance on Wednesday or Thursday for the Early College Academy, or the next week for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So what can students do? Students can hang in one of the commons here. We have the union, and then we have 4 different common spaces where students can be. And the way that the attendance will be tracked is the next course that they are in, the school attendance offices will look at to make sure that students are actually in attendance. The question we get is, can students leave? This does operate somewhat like a community college, and that students can leave. We don't have any way of tracking exactly where they are during that time. We always tell students that you need to have a conversation with your parents, and they need to be aware if you're leaving the campus here during those times. So if students, and there's a parking question, if students don't have a parking spot at their home high school, they can't then park at Emerald campus because they won't have a place to actually park when they go back to the home school. So they should be riding the shuttle in between.
I see 2 questions here. One about bus pickup and drop-offs at the high schools. I know that the Scioto buses pick up and drop off, I believe, in the front of the building. So you can enter through the attendance office. Same thing on the attendance office side, I believe, for Jerome, and then Kaufman also over on the football stadium side attendance office at Kaufman. And there's also a question here about ID badges at Emerald. Yes, we will have ID badges. Those ID badges allow you to buzz yourself into the front door as well as through the turnstiles. Those will get distributed after a couple of weeks. We always allow for a couple of weeks to get any schedule changes finalized. So for the first couple of weeks of school, the turnstiles will not be closed. They'll be open. And then you'll probably, I believe, right, Dr. Blevins, that whatever your first class is that you have at Emerald, that will typically be the class that will be distributing your ID badges.
Hi, I actually have a question about that.
Yeah.
So I'm someone who only has like 1 class at Emerald. Will I still get a badge for that?
Yes, you
Yes.
will. And so you'll get it through that 1 period. So we'll work through, and the bulk of them will be passed out first period and then go through. So if you're only here for 1 period, expect to get your ID badge in that period.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So there's a question about photos for the ECID badge. So photos don't go on the ECID badge. You'll get a homeschool ID. So the pictures taken at your home school are what go on those ID badges. If you are full day at Emerald campus and didn't get your pictures taken in the home school, we will have a picture day here October 11th. We will have a makeup day for anybody who missed that opportunity and any of our full day students. And then that's also when our staff get their pictures taken as well. There's a question about theory of knowledge and CAS. Are they the same class? They're actually different courses. So if you're participating in the IB diploma, there's 3 components that you take as part of the IB core. It's theory of knowledge, which is kind of like a philosophy course. How do you know what you know? Creativity, activity, and service is you need to be doing those 3 things while you're an IB student. So there will be different activities that are put on to help make sure that you can work towards meeting that goal. And then the other component is extended essay. It all occurs through that same course, but they're different courses embedded in that same period. We will take a look at the calendar here. I'm not sure, but I appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, that sounds like that's probably a typo. We follow the same as far as no school, professional development days, all of those sorts of things. We follow the same schedules as the 3 high schools. So Monday, the 6th, will be the day off for Labor Day.
Somebody asked about the early college. Is that the same thing as College Credit Plus? Yes. So when you're signing up for early college, you're taking College Credit Plus classes, but what you're signing up for in early college is a composition course, a psychology or a sociology course, and then a seminar. And then second semester, you flip to, if you continue in second semester, you take a Comp 2, then whatever you didn't take from Psych or Soc first semester, and then the seminar as well. Is there a separate attendance line for Emerald Campus? If there's an attendance issue, you actually don't call Emerald Campus, you call the homeschool, and they track all attendance. So even when a student comes in here, if they come in late, they'll sign in, but we will be communicating back to the homeschool as well. They're the ones that manage the attendance. So you just call directly to them and let them know if someone needs to leave early, a note, all of that stuff ends up at the home high school. Somebody asked about section number for the College Credit Plus classes. So section number is what we use internally. Looking at the schedules, it doesn't actually show up on your schedule, which would be helpful if it did. But when you're looking at the chart of when your class meets for orientation, if you look at what time periods, like if it says 0.2 and 1.1, on your schedule as the time, then we told you what time that you would actually be meeting for that orientation. I can pull that up here. I just need to find it real quick.
I see another question here. If a senior student attends for 2 of the IB courses at Emerald, do they need an EC badge? If yes, where do they obtain the ID? I don't know if I'm understanding that question. All students that are at Emerald.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, all students will get an Emerald Campus ID badge, regardless of whether you're here for 1 period or all day. It's required for mobility through the building, through the turnstiles and so forth.
And you get those in, usually it's your first class of the day, but it will just depend on your schedule. But you get them in 1-year Emerald Campus courses.
So here's an example of what the orientation schedule looks like. So section number, we thought it was going to show up on your schedule, but unfortunately it didn't. Your schedule should say, for example, my college and career readiness seminar is Friday, 02 and 1.1. If that's what your schedule says on Fridays, you're meeting from 7:50 to 8:25. And that's when your orientation actually is on the 20th and 27th. During those orientations, we will be going over all of the specific times about what time your classes meet and things like that, which fall in the block period that's on your schedule, but it's actually shorter than the 2 periods. So to not confuse anybody with any more emails, if we could just get everybody to the right orientation, we'll make sure everybody has their questions answered from there. So if your seminar says 3.1 and 3.2, then you need to come on Friday the 20th between 10 and 10:35. Anytime else between that block on Friday, you do not have class. So, and again, if we go down here, 4.2 and 5A, then that means you're meeting from 11:10 to 11:45. And that chart was sent in an email as well.
Can I just clarify, if my student is full day at Emerald Campus in the early college experience, so she would really only have to be there on the first 2 Fridays, but not the other days?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then our math class is different because they're not part of, she's taking a Columbus State math class also. So
is she taking it at Emerald?
Yes.
Okay, so they don't meet on the 18th and 19th. They will meet for orientation on the 20th, and then they start class on the 23rd.
So she would need to be present that first full week of school for just the math period.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what other questions do we have? These are all great questions. And if you hopped on late and even if you already saw a question and you need to ask it again because you don't understand, feel free to ask again.
I'd asked a question. I don't know if it got answered. If kids are 100% Emerald Campus, do they just need an Emerald Campus parking sticker, or do they still have to get one for their homeschool?
Just at Emerald Campus. So they would then just fill out the Emerald Campus permission slip that's through the current students. And then they would come into the front desk and we would give them an Emerald Campus hang tag.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm sorry, I missed a part of the parking pass situation. So my daughter is part at homeschool, part of Scioto, part at Emerald Campus. There is another form that we need to get for parking pass in addition to the Scioto parking pass?
Yes. So there's an online form that just gives them permission to leave their homeschool and drive over here during the day and park at Emerald Campus. And so if you are, I'm going to pull it back up again here. Hold on one second. Navigate a couple screens here. Okay, so current students over here off to the side is parking. And
Okay.
then, so right here, there's this Emerald Campus driving permission form. So it's
Got
the
it.
same one under both options, but this first applies to her in the situation if she already has a parking pass over there. So clicking,
Over Scioto.
it's just a
Okay.
Google form. And then it says, a little bit further down, it's how did you pay for your parking pass over there, just so we can verify whether it was through the
Right, direct or through the online
Yeah.
system, yeah.
Yeah, so we have it down here. So
Okay, and then you pay another $60?
nope. It's
Okay.
you pay over
It's the
there
same.
and then it covers
Got it.
both.
Got it. And then my next question is, this is her first year at Emerald Campus. She's doing College Credit Plus, the psych and comp and that whole deal.
Yep. Seminar.
So
Yep.
so she's scheduled for what time is your class on Monday? I mean on Wednesday. So her first period on Wednesday, she sent an email to the counselor, but she hasn't gotten a response back. Does she need to report on Wednesday at all?
Not the 18th or 19th.
Not
And
the
then-
18th or 19th?
And not the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which would be 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. It
Okay,
would just
so
be
only on the
23rd.
27th, August 20th.
August
day that
20th, the 20th, and the 27th.
I'm sorry, the 20th is her first day, and then no other day that week of the 27th, just the 27th?
Yes.
Okay, so those 2 Fridays only, and then on August 30th, that's when everything is full, like the entire class is gonna happen at that point.
Yep. And there's a couple questions on the 20th and 27th. So you do have to attend both days. And it's different material that we're covering on both days as part of
On both
that
those days.
orientation.
Got it. And so at this point, the only thing that she has to be there for, she has a math class at Emerald Campus. So the math class she'll physically be there this week, but College Credit Plus is just the 2 seminar Fridays, 20th class.
Is she taking IB math or is she taking a College Credit Plus math?
She's taking IB Bio, and then what math? Oh, she's not taking math at Emerald. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Okay, so just IB Bio. Yes, so
Yes.
IB Bio starts on day 1.
Okay. All right, Julie, this is Tawana Allen too, by the way. We're on Olivia's device, but
Oh, yes. Okay, awesome. Nice to see you.
I know, good to hear from you. Take care.
One thing I'll add, because you mentioned that you missed the parking. I know we answered most of that question. When she does get her parking pass from Scioto, she'll physically bring that in here to the front desk, and we'll give her a sticker. There's no charge, but she'll get an Emerald Campus sticker to put on the back of her Scioto tag.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
There's a question about Chromebooks. And so students should have been issued a Chromebook when they were a freshman, and then they keep that through their 4 years, regardless of whether they're here or at the homeschool. Simon has a question about IT Academy. And so IT does have College Credit Plus, but you will not need to attend this orientation. You will actually start on day one, though, in your IT Academy. And then that teacher incorporates the orientation as part of the first 8 days of school.
There was a question, Dr. Blevins, about the number of IB diploma students this year, and I'm sure you probably the one best to answer. I think it's in the 90s. Do you know the number?
Yeah, so it's a little over 90, and that includes juniors and seniors. I can't remember the exact breakdown right now of how many juniors and how many seniors, but we're a little over 90. All right, other questions for us. Again, you can type them in the bottom. You can unmute and ask. Either way works for us.
Good afternoon. This is Sandeep here.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. My daughter, she is going to come to Emerald campus am I audible? Sorry. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. So my daughter, she is going to come Emerald campus for an additional class, I think. So I just want to know the commutation process, basically she will be taken from the school, picked up from the school from shuttle, or what it is.
Yes. So were you asking about the transportation process?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So the transportation process. So there's a shuttle schedule. And so someone had asked earlier about the location that they picked up, and I was actually typing that there. So
Sorry, I missed it. Sorry.
No, that's okay. And I realized that I didn't put in Scioto in front of the first one here. So, so the shuttles at the homeschool, they will pick up students in front of the high school at Scioto, by door 2 at Kaufman, and then at Jerome, it's on the Brand Road side. And it will have a piece of paper in the window that says Emerald Campus Shuttle. And then depending upon which school, if it's Scioto, Kaufman, or Jerome. So the students will then take the shuttle here, and then after class, they'll get back on the shuttle, and then it will take them back to the home school. And the shuttles here do have markings in the windows about whether it's Scioto, Kaufman, or Jerome. And typically Kaufman and Jerome students ride on the same bus. As they go, the Jerome bus just drops the Kaufman students off on the way.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. If your daughter has YPA second semester, I would wait till second semester to worry about the parking pass sticker. And the ID we will redistribute at second semester for any students that are just adding for second semester. She won't need to worry about the turnstile badge.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, other questions for us?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I just have one more quick question. I don't have a schedule in front of me, but are the 2 Fridays just for orientation? Nothing else. They just show up for orientation and that's it.
Yes. And so we sent an email out to the College Credit Plus students with like a little chart of like what time, and I think I copied all the parents on it. So that's the only time that they will need to come on the 20th and the only time that they will need to be here on the 27th.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. The question is, do students need to sign up for a free lunch if they want it? And they do not need to sign up for free or reduced lunch. However, I would still encourage anyone that thinks that they would qualify to sign up for free and reduced lunch. When it becomes really important is when you are applying for so through the colleges, when you apply, when your student is actually looking at post-secondary options and they do college application fees, there can be some waivers there. When your student is signing up for ACT or SAT tests, there can be waivers there. For IB fees, there's a $119 fee during the testing year for each of the courses. And so students that qualify for free and reduced lunch have that waived. So or if students are taking AP courses, any of those we work with for anyone that's on free and reduced lunch. So there's still a benefit to sign up for that.
One additional benefit, if you actually qualify for free and reduced lunch, is for summer school. If a student happens to be taking any sort of class or credit online in the summer, there's a discount for any students who are free and reduced as well. So if you think you qualify, we always suggest you go to the district website and get the information to complete the form.
Mr. Etherton, does that also apply for if they want to take virtual personal finance over the summer and those courses?
I believe so. I don't believe it's just an Apex. I believe that when you sign up for summer school courses, if you are free and reduced, you do get a discount. I believe so.
Orientation is only for College Credit Plus students. And, the reason why we don't start on day one is because Columbus State doesn't actually start on day one. But the seminar class is still our teacher. So that's why we hold class on the 20th and the 27th. So any other type of orientation things that happen here at the academy level or in the IB classes is embedded in those courses and by our own teachers. So the question about what happens about College Credit Plus with the policy. So if students need to earn a grade of D or better in a College Credit Plus course, if they fail the course or drop the course during a certain time, they are actually responsible for paying back the tuition for those courses. If a student is on free and reduced lunch, that would be an exception because we would not expect them to pay it back. We would be paying the fee for the students. For students to move on for the next course in a sequence, for example, if you're in the early college academy and you're taking Comp 1 first semester, Comp 2 is second semester. If a student does not get a C or better, they cannot continue on to the second course in that sequence, which would be that Comp 2. So there's a couple different things there. And as far as dropping a course, so the official first start date for Columbus State classes is August 30th. And so students have 10 calendar days to drop that course with no penalty. So that means no fee and no W on their transcript. After that, and we sent out those dates as well, but after that, it gets into they can have to pay a fee, but no W on the transcript. And then they get to a point where you can drop, you have to pay a fee and you get a W on the transcript. To a certain point, you can't drop at all. And those are all predetermined by the state, and Columbus State has those set for us. There's a question about the IB fee. So you will need to pay an IB exam fee, and it will be up on Pay Schools. It should not be up right now. Someone paid an IB fee, one person paid an IB fee the other day. I don't know how they found it or how they got to it, but if you see anything on there, it would not be paying. We will figure out which courses students owe for, and then communicate with students and families on that balance to make sure we're on the same page of how much is due and what specific tests that students want to make sure they're registered for. So there's a question down here about a schedule question. If you can email me, I'm going to put down the general Emerald campus, which goes into my inbox. I can answer your question. I just want to be able to look up his exact schedule, and then I can tell you. He shouldn't only have 5 minutes to get to Jerome, so I just want to look at it a little bit closer and see what the situation is. And any other questions you have, you can also, that Emerald Campus at dublinschools.net. It goes into my email, and then I can filter it to the right person if it's not specific to Emerald Campus, or try to help get an answer for you about Emerald Campus. Other questions for us? This is Orfila. We will, I'll have the IB coordinator reach out to you, and we can work through that course. We actually have to reach out to you anyway, because we had a few more questions about his schedule. So it seems like we're rounding out in questions. If anybody wants to hop off, you're more than welcome. If anybody wants to hang around and ask questions, you know, specific to us, we are happy to help as well. Again, we'll be recording and pushing this out on Friday, and expect to get a Friday newsletter from Emerald Campus each week with updates. If you weren't able to walk around Emerald Campus last week for the walkthroughs, you can come on in and grab a schedule up, not a schedule, a map up at the front and walk through the building. There will be people around, but no one really to kind of direct you with questions, but you can have ask all your questions at the front desk to the receptionist, and she can help direct you if you can't find something.
I do have one more question.
Yeah.
Since you're talking about walkthroughs, will the kids be able to walk through during orientation?
For the College Credit Plus?
Yes.
Yeah, we can allow them to walk through then. It's kind of, it's very different atmosphere here than at the home high schools. And so students are kind of free to go about the building as they choose. It's their space, it's not our space. And we really try to support them in the independence of that. So we are happy to have them walk around during that time and try to see what is all here for them.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome. So the makeup walkthrough, if students come in anytime today, it needs to be between 8 and 3. You can walk through the building and kind of check it out if you weren't able to make the walkthroughs last week. There's a question about which courses in the IB program can be used for college credit. So it depends upon which college that you're actually going to. It's similar to an AP test where you'll take an IB test at the end of the year and you'll do an internal assessment and students will get a score. AP's on a 1 to 5, IB's on a 1 to 7. So students will get a score. And when they go to college, they will take that transcript with them to the college who decides what credit they're going to be giving them at the college level. And that's similar to how it works for AP. The only sure way to get college credit is by taking College Credit Plus. And that is for any public college in Ohio, they have to take the transfer credit. Going outside of Ohio, the students still do need to take they would take a college transcript at that point and try to see if an out-of-state college or a private college would accept that credit. So you don't have to take your own transportation from the high school to Emerald campus. We have shuttles. And so there's a shuttle schedule. So after each period, there is a shuttle that takes students from the home high school to here and then back. The only thing it does not do is pick students up at their home and bring them directly here. You would, if you're riding the bus in the morning, you take it to the home high school and then you take the shuttle here. And then in the afternoon, the same thing. We end at 2:25. So students that need to get the homebound bus take the shuttle back to their high school and then get on the homebound bus like they would if they were at the high school.
Okay, any last questions from anyone? Remember, there's always the email address that Dr. Blevins put up earlier. I don't know if you want to throw that up one more time. If anyone has any lingering questions, and then we can get those answered or to the right person to answer for you.
So there's a question in here I don't understand. My first period is IB business at Emerald. So do I get there at that time? I don't know what that question is.
I think maybe the question is about the shuttle versus, I'm assuming your concern is, will the shuttle get you there in time? Obviously, if you're driving yourself, you make sure that you get here, but the shuttles typically leave the home high school. And yes, they get here in time for that 7:46, I believe, somewhere in that.
Yeah, they get here about 7:40.
So you'll be here in time for your first period class if you're riding the shuttle from your high school.
Other questions for us? So you shouldn't be late for your next class at the homeschool. We have the periods at the high school and Emerald staggered a little bit. So students have about a 15-minute window to get to their home high school between courses.
And the one thing I would add to that answer is, keep in mind the first few days of school, we're going to be working, kind of working with transportation to get those things and make sure that that's not happening. By all means, if for some reason you are arriving late or something is not timely with the shuttle, just let us know. Let let Carol at the front desk, the receptionist, or Mrs. Arnold on the first floor, or any one of us administrators that you see walking around, and we'll try to get things fixed. Looks like there's a question there, Dr. Blevins, about who should if an IB diploma student has questions about their schedule.
Yes, I emailed him.
Oh.
I direct messaged him with, so
Okay.
Ann Tiefenthaler is the IB coordinator, and then she's new to the position, but if she has questions, then I can help her with diploma questions, but I put her email in a direct message.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I have to take off. I know there's a couple of last questions coming in, but I have a 1 o'clock that I have to be at with a teacher. So again, thank you, all of you that joined, and myself, Dr. Blevins, and Mrs. Meese look forward to your students arriving, and students, we're really excited about having you arrive and starting a great year.
Yes, we look forward to having you. And the question, Mr. Atherton, you go ahead and take off. And then the question is, will this be published on the Emerald Campus website? I will publish it there too. So under the current students tab where it says that we were going to have this this meeting, I'll post it there. And then it'll also go out as a link on Friday in the e-blast that'll go to parents and students. All right. So thank you all for joining us again. And I put the email in there, emeraldcampus@dublinschools.net. If you have anything lingering, let me know. And then in the email, you saw that we have one specific to College Credit Plus. We will also have another one specific to IB, but just not this week. All right, last call for questions, and yes, I can stay on if anyone has questions. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. Again, if you have questions, email us, and thanks for joining us.